Are you ready to dive into a heartwarming tale of love, family, and dreams coming true? Meet Thuy, the devoted sister who has poured her soul into building a family business, only to discover unexpected love with a humble worker, Toan. Meanwhile, their grandmother's deepest wish for unity and happiness begins to unfold as Toan, the CEO brother, cares for Diem, a brave woman recovering from injury. This story of hope, devotion, and family bonds will surely touch your heart. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this beautiful journey, because every family deserves a happy ending. Thuy, the elder sister of CEO Toan, was truly the heart and soul of their family. From a young age, she had been known not only for her intelligence and dedication but also for her warm, caring nature. Everyone who met her could tell how deeply she loved her family, especially her beloved grandmother and her only brother, Toan. Thuy's days were mostly filled with hard work and determination as she devoted herself to building the family business alongside her brother. Together, they were a powerhouse team, constantly brainstorming, planning, and pushing the company to new heights. It was clear to all that she had an incredible work ethic, but what few people knew was that in the process, Thuy had somewhat set aside her own happiness and dreams. Her grandmother often gently reminded her about life beyond the office, about love, and about the joy of having someone special by her side. "Thuy, darling," her grandmother would say with a knowing smile, "it's time you thought about settling down. You work so hard for this family, but love is what truly makes a home." Thuy would laugh softly and nod, but she never quite had the heart to admit that the idea of romance felt complicated and distant. The responsibility she felt for her family was enormous, and she didn't want to add any distractions to her already busy life. Yet, every time her grandmother nudged her with that loving encouragement, a tiny spark of hope would flicker inside her heart. Recently, however, something had begun to change. A new face had appeared at the company, Toan, a humble but hard-working young man who had just been hired as a factory worker. Thuy noticed him almost immediately, not because he stood out loudly, but because there was a quiet kindness and sincerity about him that made her heart flutter unexpectedly. Toan was different from the fast-paced world she was used to. He was grounded, genuine, and worked with a passion that reminded her of her own. Over time, Thuy found herself looking forward to the moments when their paths crossed, stealing small smiles and shy hellos that warmed her more than she wanted to admit. For the first time in a long while, Thuy began to imagine what it might be like to share her days with someone who truly understood and cared for her. She thought about the laughter they might share over morning coffee, the comfort of having a partner to lean on during tough times, and the joy of building a life filled with love and trust. Even though she still felt a bit hesitant and unsure, this new feeling brought a lightness to her steps that her grandmother was quick to notice. "Ah, my dear," her grandmother said one afternoon as they sat together in the garden, "love has finally found its way to you. Don't be afraid to open your heart." Despite all the demands of work and the pressures of family expectations, Thuy began to allow herself to dream a little more. She realized that seeking happiness and love did not mean abandoning her responsibilities. Instead, it could give her the strength and joy to continue thriving. As she balanced her role as a devoted sister and granddaughter with the budding feelings she had for Toan, Thuy discovered a newfound sense of hope and excitement about the future. This delicate but beautiful journey of love was just beginning, and Thuy couldn't help but feel that perhaps, just perhaps, life was about to surprise her in the most wonderful way. She was ready to embrace the happiness she deserved, all while keeping the family she cherished so deeply close to her heart. As Thuy's heart quietly blossomed with new feelings, her beloved grandmother's wishes extended beyond just her. The family matriarch longed to see both her grandchildren, Thuy and Toan, happily settled in life. While Toan was the ambitious and devoted CEO of their growing company, he too was not immune to the gentle but firm nudges from their wise grandmother. She often expressed her hope that Toan would soon find a loving partner to share his life with, someone who would not only support him through the challenges of running a business but also bring warmth and joy to their family home. In particular, Grandma's heart was set on Diem, a kind and gentle woman who had become close to Toan over time. Diem's presence in the family was a blessing in disguise. She had gone through a harrowing experience recently, getting lost in the forest and sustaining an injury to her leg. This ordeal, while frightening, had brought the two closer than ever. Toan's care and concern for Diem revealed a tenderness that even his hardworking, focused nature rarely showed in public. He was determined to ensure she received the best medical care possible and was protected from any harm. Understanding the importance of family safety and unity, Grandma frequently voiced her wish for Diem to come and live with them. A strong family protects and nurtures its own, she would say with a soft smile, her eyes shining with hope. Having Diem here, under our roof, will give her the security she deserves. And Toan will have peace of mind knowing she is surrounded by love. For Grandma, this was not just about physical safety, it was about creating a warm, harmonious environment where every member felt cared for and valued. Toan took his grandmother's words to heart. He knew how much his grandmother cherished family togetherness and how much Diem needed their support right now. With quiet determination, he planned to take Diem to see a specialist to properly heal the wound on her leg, a mark left from her terrifying time lost in the wilderness. This act of care was more than just medical attention. It was a symbol of his commitment to protect and cherish her, like family. The thought of welcoming Diem into their home also filled Toan with a deep sense of happiness. He imagined evenings spent sharing stories around the dinner table, laughter echoing through the rooms, and the comforting presence of loved ones close by. It was a vision of family that both warmed and motivated him. He believed that with Diem by his side and Thuy finding her own happiness, their grandmother's dream of a united, joyful household could finally come true. As the days passed, the bond between Toan and Diem grew stronger. They supported each other not only through challenges but also in simple, everyday moments, from quiet walks in the garden to sharing a cup of tea during late nights at the office. Meanwhile, Thuy's budding feelings for Toan quietly blossomed alongside, creating a beautiful balance within the family. The harmony between work, love, and family was slowly but surely weaving a tapestry of happiness that seemed destined to flourish. Grandma watched all of this unfold with a heart full of gratitude and hope. The vision she held close for so many years of children and grandchildren living together in peace, love, and safety was beginning to take shape before her eyes. It was a vision that promised not only happiness for her family but also a legacy of love and unity that would be passed down through generations. And so, with a heart full of faith and a soul brimming with joy, the family stepped forward into a future where love and care were at the center of everything they did, a future that promised healing, togetherness, and the warm glow of home. As the seasons changed, the dream that Grandma had held in her heart for so many years began to blossom beautifully into reality. She often sat quietly in her favorite chair by the window, watching her grandchildren, Toan, Thuy, Diem, and even Toan, move about their lives with a sense of purpose and love that warmed her very soul. To her, the house was no longer just a building. It had transformed into a sanctuary of hope, laughter, and unbreakable bonds. The presence of Diem living under their roof brought a newfound peace, and the gentle, steady companionship blossoming between Thuy and Toan added a joyful rhythm to every day. Grandma's eyes would sometimes fill with tears, not of sorrow, but of overwhelming happiness. She remembered all the sacrifices she had made throughout her life, all the hopes she had silently carried for her family's future. Seeing them now, united and thriving, was more than she could have ever wished for. The love that radiated from every corner of their home made her heart swell with pride. It was as if the universe had conspired to fulfill her deepest wish, to witness her family wrapped in love, safe from harm, and building a legacy that would endure through generations. In her mind, she pictured a lively house filled with the sound of children's laughter, the grandchildren she dreamed of welcoming into the family. She imagined family gatherings around a big table, full of warmth and joy, where stories were shared and bonds grew stronger. The thought of her grandchildren growing up surrounded by the same love and values she cherished gave her immense comfort. It was a vision that brought tears to her eyes and smiles to her lips, a precious treasure she held close to her heart. Toan, ever the devoted grandson and brother, was deeply moved by his grandmother's hopes and dreams. He realized that beyond business success and personal ambition, what truly mattered was the happiness and unity of their family. The thought of building a home where love was the foundation inspired him to be a better man, more patient, more caring, more present. He knew that with Diem by his side, and Thuy finding her own joy with Toan, their grandmother's vision was well within reach. Thuy, too, felt a new lightness in her heart. The love she shared quietly with Toan gave her strength and happiness she hadn't known she was missing. It reminded her that caring for others didn't mean sacrificing her own joy. With the support of her family, and especially the blessing of their grandmother, she began to embrace the possibility of a future filled with both love and responsibility. The happiness she now carried was a gift, one that she intended to nurture and cherish for years to come. As for Diem, The warmth and protection of the family gave her hope and healing. With Toan's unwavering care, her legs slowly recovered, but more importantly, her heart found a place to rest. The kindness she experienced became a balm for past fears and uncertainties. Living together with the family not only offered safety but also a sense of belonging she had longed for. In that shared space, love blossomed gently but surely. And so, in that home filled with love, laughter, and the promise of tomorrow, Grandma's lifelong wish was fulfilled. The sight of her grandchildren embracing their futures, full of hope, happiness, and family bonds, was the most precious gift she could ever receive. Tears of joy would sometimes roll down her cheeks as she whispered prayers of gratitude, knowing that the legacy of love she had dreamed of was now alive and thriving. This was not just a happy ending. It was a new beginning, one woven from the threads of sacrifice, hope, and unwavering devotion. It was a testament to the power of family and the magic that happens when love is at the heart of everything. And in that beautiful truth, Grandma found peace, a peace that would carry her spirit forward, knowing that her family was whole, happy, and deeply loved.